What is going on, traders? Welcome to Celestin Capital. Thank you guys for tuning into this brand new video. This video is going to be a weekly outlook for the week of 5-9 through 5-13, I think it is. So next week, I'm going to give you guys a weekly outlook and my predictions on the commodity markets, the Forex markets, and we'll see how these things play out. So this past Friday, I was able to, or this trade was actually forward tested, this US30 trade. What I saw was price within this range. If we go to the 1 hour, we see this range right here. So we got to break a structure of this low. We see price just ranging. BOS down. We see price just ranging. So what happened was once we dropped down to the 15-minute, we saw this huge push up and the break down. So that gave me the 15-minute range. So that, I like to start on higher time frames and break it down from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. So I like to start general and then scale into my time frames. I don't just like to start on one time frame and work with that single one, because the higher time frames give you a more general, a better outlook on what price is trying to do. So that's why I start higher and I scale down to a lower time frame. So what I saw on the lower time frame, the 15-minute, was price come back to mitigate this supply zone that you see that I have marked up within this gray box. Let me actually get rid of this. Again, this trade was forward tested. I'm going to show you guys the trade I actually hopped into. What we saw was price hop in, come back to mitigate the supply zone. And within this mitigation, this is what we saw. We saw this high was created right over here. If we go back, we saw that this high was created right over here, right? And I saw this as liquidity. So what happened right after? Price took out this high. Price took out this high. Price did not close above the high, so I was expecting, from here, I was already expecting sells. And this liquidation just added more to the confirmation. What really confirmed the downtrend bias was this break right here, this breakdown of this low. And after that, what happened was I put my entry right over here, right above this high. And we were looking to take out this low because, again, we're on a downtrend, so we're expecting lows to be taken out. And I waited for price to come back up, tap me in. And then eventually price broke down. If I would have entered this trade, I would have broken even at this point. And we would have been, would have taken 50% and let the other 50% run. At this point, would have gotten stopped out at break even, but we would have secured 50% of our position already. So that's what would have happened if I were to enter this trade. Again, this trade was forward tested. I've logged it into my trading log just for future references. So that's for US30. US30, again, I'm expecting US30 to take out this low over here. The only way I consider US30 bearish is if we close above this high. So if price decides to shoot up, close above this high, this line right here, then I'll consider bullish. The only way I'll consider US30 bullish is if we close above this high. So US30 decides to shoot up, close above this high, then I'll consider it bullish, and we'll look for a shift of trend up to, I don't know, some higher supply zone up here. On NAS, what we have, pretty similar to US30. This one, again, was forward tested. And if you actually take a look, we see that this high was created over here. This high was created. Price liquidated the high. Price liquidated the high. And what we got a low right here that we're expecting price to take out. Once price broke below that low, which just happened, we look to enter on the mitigation. So what happened a few minutes after? Price came back up, tapped us in, and price headed back in our direction. Again, we would have broken even once price broke this low over here. Break even partial. And price did not yet take out this low. I think price is creating liquidity for the coming week. So I'm expecting price to ultimately take out this low, take out this low. So that's what we're looking for on NAS for the coming week. On gold, I'm expecting this play to happen on Friday. but it did not happen. What happened was price broke structure to the upside. Again, overall, we're still bearish, somewhat bearish on the gold. We're expecting price to take out this liquidity as you see right here. Expecting price to take out this liquidity that I have marked up, this support. So what I'm expecting, where I'm expecting price to take out that support from is expecting price to use the supply zone to push price down to take out the support line. So instead of just waiting for price to get to the supply zone, I'm following the short-term bullish structure up to the supply zone. So as you see, price broke above this high, price came back, price mitigated, and we liquidated this high right here. But what I'm expecting price to do, I'm expecting price to fill in this imbalance that we see right over here. We actually got a 30-minute breaker structure, but on 1 hour, it's a liquidation. Again, I'm looking for price to go bullish up until we get into the supply zone. So that's why I'm looking for buys. And once we get into supply zone, I'll be looking for sells. So if we scale down to a lower time frame, we're seeing a break of structure. We see a break structure of this high. But what price left behind was this nice imbalance that you see right over here. This nice imbalance that did not get filled in yet. So I'm expecting price to ultimately come back, fill in this imbalance, use this imbalance to push price up, at least take out this high. We'll probably break even once price takes out this high. Or if price gives us some other structure in between here, we'll probably break even at those points, because we know gold is very volatile and it's very manipulated. So we don't want to get into this trade, be in profit, and for price to come back out and stop us out without getting some kind of profit, without taking some kind of profit out of the market. So we want to make sure we secure some kind of profit, because no trade is guaranteed to hit TP or go the way you expect it to. Again, especially during these times with the war going on and stuff, no trade is guaranteed at all. So that's why I'm looking for gold bullish up until we get into the supply zone. Once we get into the supply zone, expecting price to take out the liquidity that I showed you guys over here. GU, what I'm looking for on GU is for price to liquidate this high potentially liquidate this high, break structure to the downside, and eventually come back, take out this low. So that's what we're looking for on GU. Simple as that. On gold, I'm not gold. On AU, we caught this trade on this trade we actually got into. Excuse me. I'm gonna pause this really quickly. Be back in a sec. All right, guys, I'm back. Excuse me for the break. But AU, as I was saying before, we liquidated the high up here. We liquidated the high right up here. You can see this wick to the upside, liquidated the high. And then what happened was we got a break of structure to the downside. Now, the pip count was pretty high. So in order for me to get into this trade and get a decent risk to reward, price would have had to come all the way up here for me to take this trade. And that's exactly what happened. Price came up, and on the 5-minute, you can see this pip count is already 22 pips. For AU, that's not very normal. Usually it would be about half, so about 10 pips, 5 pips on a 5-minute time frame. But I think the market was liquid at this time. I think NFP just happened, so the market was very liquid at this moment. So price indeed did come back up, tapped me in, and at this point we were able to break even once price broke this low. Excuse me. And because I don't like holding trades over the weekend because of the gaps that usually happen during the weekend, I closed the trade somewhere around here. Price did end up almost hitting TP, but I ended up closing the trade. So I broke even right here, and then I ended up closing the trade somewhere around somewhere around here. And yeah, that was pretty much the week for you guys. That's what I predict for this upcoming week. Again, for AU, I'm expecting price to continue to the downside, take out this low. If I want to see a bullish market, if price goes bullish, I would have to see, or for me to consider price a bullish market, price would have to break this, close above this. There would have to be a close above this high for me to consider AU bullish. So once again, US30 bearish, looking for this low to get taken out. Nas, bearish, looking for this low to get taken out. Gold, bullish, looking for price to clean up this imbalance, to close this imbalance, and give us some kind of structural play, some setup within this supply zone. And then from here to sell off and take out the liquidity that I showed you guys earlier. So we have some kind of support over here. I'm expecting price to take out. On GU, expecting price to continue down. Again, just waiting for price to liquidate a high if it decides to. If it doesn't, our setup isn't there, and we're not going to look to hop into this trade. And for AU, as I just showed you guys, I'm looking for price to take out this low. So yeah, again, that's the weekly outlook for you guys, and we'll see how this week plays out. And we're always going to stay flexible. We're always going to be flexible with the markets because, again, as I told you guys before, the market doesn't have to do anything we expect it to do. The market does whatever it does. We are just responding to what the market does. We're responding to how the market acts whenever it does decide to act, especially with the war going on. Market is very uncertain, so we have to be able to adapt and shift our. I'm not saying to change your strategy, but be able to, if you need to go to a higher time frame, do that. You may increase your pip count. You might have to do that, but if that's the case, you have to do it. Again, have to be able to adapt to different markets. And again, I'm not saying to change your strategy, but as long as you're keeping the same strategy and making sure your risk management and your psychology are on point, you should be fine, regardless of market conditions. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.